now let's look at, let me start the car first. Let's look at the rear seats. Hey, look at the taillights. Very intricate design. Oh, the music. I cannot stand this. I wonder if there's a way to cancel the music. Okay, let's come by the rear seats. Flat floor. Almost. Okay. And look at the seat rails. They are raised above the floor. Good finishing. No sharp edges. I can slot my feet underneath. Pardon for not wearing shoes. Very sporty seat designs. Alright. Aircon vents here. Just a tray. Nothing much. Very good finishing, as you can see here. Very Mercedes inspired interior, I have to say this. This looks like carbon fiber. I cannot believe they put real carbon fiber in here. But like I said, it serves the exact same purpose as carbon fiber does. Purely for aesthetics. Of no use, basically. But it looks like carbon fiber. I mean, if they release a press release and say this is real carbon fiber, everybody will say it's real carbon fiber because there's no way to tell. Right? Looks good. B-pillar. Lights. Oh, Crystal E. Finishing and all is good. Seat back angle. The car is not small. They could have made it with a more reclined seat angle. It could have been made with a more reclined seat angle, I have to say, because the car is not small and this is not a 7-seater, so you could have had, you know, let me pull the tonneau cover. I like this. Nice, positive and almost frictionless action. Not sure if I can. Yeah, I think I can. Does the whole thing open up? Scares me for a while. Yes! Ooh! Okay, I was very confident with my own judgment because when you park the car, when it goes beep and then you stop immediately, that's the limit of you being able to open the boot. This shows the size of the car. It's not actually a big car, just that the perception of it inside feels big. But when I'm standing here, the width of the boot immediately shows me the real proportions of the car. Of course, I did not check the... oh, that's a full-size spare. It's deep. And nope, it's not designed to be a hidden storage. Power outlet over here. These are of course the most hardcore plastic. There's no need to invest in it over here. Pretty Spartan at the back here, nothing much. And see the carpets? Those are supposed to be covering, or they should fold down. Nothing much. You can fold the seats down, but there's no levers or whatever, just a hook point. So at the back here is immediately evident that it's not as nicely appointed as up front. Okay, and let's fold this back. Let's pull this back. You know, some cars they have the rails going all the way, right? But anyway, doesn't catch well, huh? Okay. Yeah, it's not a big car. It's not a big boot. The boot is actually not considered big for what the car is. I have no idea why this is so chunky on the sides. But yeah, it could have been made bigger, but it's not. So on the side. Yep. let's go. Yep, that's the Tiggo 7 or 8. I forgot. I forgot. Yep. So who does this challenge? I think from the looks of it, it should be what, the X70 competitor? No? Right. Yeah, it should be an X70 competitor. Alright. Yep. Nothing much. Cheers. So I hook up my Bluetooth and it asks me if I want to unlock. Yep. If I want to activate Android Auto. So it has wireless Android Auto. Not bad. Oh, might as well play some music. Might as well, isn't it? Okay. Is the screen alright? The refresh rate and all that is okay, and then the maps automatically go to one side, but this is credit to Android, not so much to this. Let's play some music. The refresh rate is a bit, you know, it's like, okay, let's play some weird ass music. Why is it so soft? Okay, why is it so soft? Where's the volume button? Sony sound system. Very bassy. Maps and all that. Nothing much. Alright. Yep. That's about it. Oh, what is this?
Normal mode and sports mode entered. Economic mode entered. Normal mode entered. Sports mode entered.
You don't have to tell me that. Okay, let's drive with sports mode then. Cheers. So, the onslaught of China. Oh. It just hook up wheel spin and went its way. Yeah, the onslaught of Chinese car makers have arrived globally, and they are not stopping. Almost every month there is a new brand in town, and you can't even catch up with all of them. All of a sudden there are more Chinese brands in Malaysia than Japanese brands, and I can't even count all of them off my head. I'm definitely gonna miss out a few, but they're just coming, they're pouring in. And sometimes when you think about it, that's why people buy them, because for the price. Alright? Back then, people are willing to buy Koreans and Malaysian cars as opposed to Japanese cars because they are cheaper, right? And when they're cheaper, we can accept poorer build quality, poorer designs, poorer engine, poorer everything, and people buy because they want to save money. That's it, right? They just want a car to move around. But these guys, this round, I mean, there is a previous round. Remember Chery in 2005 or 6, right? Some dealers brought their cars in, some people bought them because they're cheap, but they are badly built. Not only the designs are bad, they look like some East Germany, you know, Lada or Trabant, that kind of stuff. You know, it's just badly designed. I mean, they're badly built. fast forward today, Chery is China's largest car exporter. Alright? And they arrive with cheaper prices as well when you compare to similar offerings from Japan. But what do they give you? They give you seats that look like AMG seats. Right? They give you touch points that you only be able to get in much more expensive cars. Design details that are just previously not available in Japanese offerings, and they are well fit together. They are solidly put together, regardless of the material. Right? They are as well built as any Korean cars. Mind you, Korean cars are put together better than Japanese these days, and yeah, they have all that for you, and it's cheap. But then for people like us who loves driving, we will notice, oh, the drivetrain pairing, more work needs to be put there. I mean, these type of pairing where there's the little lurks and jerks and all that, right? You won't find it in Japanese or Korean cars anymore. But of course, once in a while, some premium brands would cock up, and then they will have cars that do this. Alright? But it's not to that extent. I'm not talking just about this car. I notice quite... Oh, that M2 flying. Okay? So, but these are not deal breakers, because not everybody who buy cars are keen drivers, right? They just want a car to move around. They just want a car to be spacious, to be comfortable, and then to have all the safety features. This car has what? Level 2 ADAS, right? How many airbags? I didn't count. Everything is there. And then if you look at their own safety tests, Chinese car makers, they do over-the-board safety tests. They do crazy demonstrations. They drop cars onto another car, and then they do mad stuffs, some lorries lying on top of your car. They do this kind of stuff. And what's vibrating there? So yeah, it's comfortable. Apart from a little bit of that, we cannot expect it to have, I mean, they did not tell people that our company is about making cars for like Jinba Itai, horse and driver in one, They did not make this kind of manifesto. That's not what they exist for, right? Chery makes cars that hope people buy with good value, and then they're happy. Large screens, Android Auto, wireless chargers, dual clutch, powerful engine. They do all that. Yeah, when I do a hard acceleration, there is some vibration of two plastic pieces vibrating together. These things should be standalone, right? But other than that, China cars are here, and these things take very short time to fix, and they are producing car models like that. You know how the old saying where the Germans and the Japanese have gotten us used to, whereby they say that, oh, it costs 3-4 billion to develop this car model, it takes multiple years to amortize it, every 3 years we will facelift it. China proves to us that you don't need to, right? They can produce a car, sell 200,000 models, 300,000 models, POM! Another model came out, another version came out. They keep launching cars just like that. And they've managed to speed up development time compared to their rivals, the Koreans or the Japanese or the German rivals. They just put out car models like that, one after the other. And whether the Japanese or the Koreans or the Americans or Germans like it or not, they're gonna do that. And sometimes, now I'm remembered, there's an X70 in front of me. When the car was launched, all of us were shocked that Proton wants to sell it at that price point, you know, like above 100,000. So I remember I asked Proton's CEO at the time. Proton earlier on tried to sell a car at 80,000, 70, 80,000 and failed badly. So what are the steps that Proton hopes to take in terms of marketing to push itself into the 110, 120,000 price point where people can accept a Proton at this price point? And Mr. Lee, his answer is very short. He pointed at the X70. This car will do the marketing for me. You know, the value proposition of the car, the build quality of the car, you know, everything that would justify the price point. And true enough, fast forward to this day, the X70 is the car that broke the mold for everybody, that you don't have to affix brands to a price point for Malaysians, right? And now Malaysians are, you know, we learn how to look at cars from a value perspective, from how well built it is, what material it uses, you know, how is the fit and finish. And of course that's also helped by journalists like us, where we tell you what are the things that we managed to spot. Then you start to learn the differences. Oh yeah, at this price point you're supposed to do this. You know, when you are not from this price point, you did this, and then that's good. You know, things like that. So now it's a market that is very competitive, right? But even though BYD recently celebrated 10,000 cars or EVs, you know, in Malaysian market, if you look at the sales numbers, the Japanese are still there. They are still very, very comfortable with their sales numbers because it is huge and very, very far apart from the rest of the new Chinese makes, right? But of course, the one that got it is Geely, right? Geely with the Proton badge. They are selling at numbers that the other Chinese car makers can't compete yet. Wheel spin from the turbo boost. But nobody should be resting on their laurels, right? Being too comfortable at it, because now there's no more protection or whatnot, you know. It's just come and compete, and at the end of the day, the ones that benefit are consumers. Because every 5 cars that people buy off Chery or Haval or Jaku or Omoda or JAC, I don't even know what's JAC, or GAC, or how many brands, MG or BYD or Aura or Great Wall or GWM, they are all same company already. Yeah, anyway, Lead Motor, Zeekr, every 5 cars people buy off them is 5 cars off any potential sale from the Japanese or the Koreans or the Germans. Of course, the ones that I can see that are gonna suffer really, really, really badly are the Koreans, especially Hyundai, right? Because over the past, how many years have they been in the market? They did not spend money on storytelling, on basically driving themselves into the minds of Malaysians, you know. It's like Kia does it better. Kia does a better job. So I think this is very, very dire for Hyundai in Malaysia. Yeah, extremely dire. I hope they do better, but I mean, they are a great car maker all over the world. They sell in big numbers, and yeah. that's my thoughts on the Chinese car onslaughts. Still stuffs to improve, but this is by no means the greatest representation of what these companies can do, right? This kind of offering for this kind of price, very, very challenging for the rest. Alright? Cheers. The car is powerful. Pretty powerful. Handling is good, even though it looks a lot bigger than the Omoda 5, but it sits better in the corners. It's way more stable. Brakes are progressive, they're good. And I like how the car keeps telling me what it is seeing, right? You guys will be lucky if there is a motorcycle next to me, a motorcycle will be shown here. Yeah, I can drive this long distance. I mean, drivetrain pairing there. I mean, the Jaguar E-Pace has that kind of some Mercedes models. Right. But overall, I can see why people buy them. It just makes sense. Alright?